2023 Aries New Moon reaches its maximum phase at 10:23 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Tuesday, 21st of March, 2023, at 0 degrees 49 minutes. New moon phases are often associated with fresh starts and new beginnings. However, with this 2023 Aries New Moon, we really are beginning a new chapter with a 0 degree near Aries point new moon occurring less than 24 hours after the vernal or spring equinox. It doesn't get much more new chapter than this. I've been telling people that 2023 wouldn't really begin until the spring equinox and the Aries New Moon, that we'd be dealing with the residual energy of 2022 until March, until now. That's because the combination of energies that would be happening at this time would bring an energy of new beginnings and inspired actions that would feel like a walking over the threshold of a doorway into something very different than what we've been living in before now. So, at 2:24 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Monday, the 20th of March, 2023, the new year finally began with the sun's ingress into Aries, initiating a new zodiac year. Aries is the first in the lineup of the 12 zodiac signs. With its cardinal fire energy, it's the one that gets everything started, through action. This sign tends to be seen as a leader, but not as much for leadership as for initiative. It has no problem going first or being the first one to try or do something new or different. This is why Aries is often seen as a leader. Yet, the reality is that Aries doesn't really care if you follow. Aries is usually taking action because that's its natural inclination, and it's going to take action for itself. Aries is known to act on impulse or inspiration, and this could result in getting ahead of others, yet also getting in over one's head and having to back up to clean up before moving forward again, which can make Aries frustrated or angry because it doesn't like going back or having to do anything again. Aries wants to move forward and to do so quickly and with intensity. The 2023 Aries New Moon has a remarkable degree of focus on self, yet it's a self-awareness accessed through one-on-one relationships of all kinds, as well as social and professional associations and affiliations. There's an abundance of energy available for each of us to assess our self-identities and adjust our self-perceptions. There will be plenty of insights available regarding how we see ourselves as individuals and how we see ourselves as part of a community or a collective whole. To make any adjustments, we'll need to look at the quality and value of our personal, social, and professional connections and partnerships. In some cases, you may discover that others may see you as a better person than you perceive yourself to be. And some people may see you as a worse person than you perceive yourself to be. However, this 2023 Aries New Moon will prove to be one huge reminder that it's up to you to think about what is being said, to feel what is true for you in what is being said, even if that feeling may be uncomfortable or unusual for you, and to act upon and or adjust, then act upon the truth your feeling reveals. If you feel uncomfortable, that discomfort may be revealing a call to break a belief and or behavior pattern that has been causing challenges for you. A pattern likely rooted in your emotional past. If your emotional pattern is to self-deprecate when receiving positive attention or feedback, or to become overly assertive or aggressive in promoting yourself as superior to others, or if your childhood, family, or home environment conditioned you to believe emotional and psychological abuses were normal, you may find yourself having a difficult time coming to terms with some of the information and insights coming to light for you now. In all of your past and present relationships, especially the ones with imbalances or abuses of power or authority issues, the more the ego-driven motives of others are revealed, the more each of us may begin to recognize where and how we've betrayed ourselves with some of our choices and actions made to appease or align with those individuals. This could be a moment where some of us may feel deeply disempowered. But by acknowledging what we chose for ourselves and why we chose it at that time, we can do the work to heal our self-identity wounds and rise stronger than ever in the power of our renewed integrity of self. Reclaiming our self-identities and our integrity is likely to affect the dynamics of all of our relationships. These relationships could be our business partners, our recreational partners, our romantic partners, our life partners. And as we reconnect with and reestablish healthy relationships with ourselves, we'll also get to explore which relationships we value most and which ones we're most valued in. The ones with balanced and reciprocal energies are the ones we want to carry forward. The ones that are imbalanced and or one-sided get to be reassessed, and we get to choose whether or not we want them to continue. Though it may seem selfish to end a relationship, and though you may be accused of being selfish because you're not feeling valued or supported by your partners in taking actions to advance your own best interests, it may actually be the best thing you can do for yourself to begin creating a life in which you learn how to value yourself first before expecting or depending on others to give you value. Or for you to stop sacrificing yourself and your dreams out of fear of being alone. On the flip side of that, you may be feeling that some of your relationships are too much for you right now. If so, ask yourself why you're feeling that way, even with some of the relationships you value deeply. You may find that popular values are bringing surprising shifts in your personal values or in the values of others. And those shifts may support changes in the way you experience and express your emotions. Getting back in touch with what you truly value about yourself in your life could bring forth what you need in order to break old emotional patterns and seek out new social circles with different social ideologies. You may need to set some boundaries in order to protect yourself emotionally and or energetically right now, as a temporary relief. But you may also need to ask yourself if some of these boundaries need to become permanent. But remember, everyone is going through this right now, so keep in mind that others may be doing the same thing you are, breaking old patterns and seeking new circles, and setting what they feel are necessary boundaries to protect themselves emotionally and energetically from people and or situations they no longer want to engage with. You may be on the receiving end of those boundaries, and just as you may want your boundaries respected, you'll need to respect theirs. Under this 2023 Aries New Moon, it's important to understand and act in the belief that no relationship is worth more than your peace and your ability to take action to establish that peace. That, and the peace you seek, starts within you, which is why you must feel good about who you are and the actions that you're taking so that everything you say and do is aligned with your inner truth, with your integrity. If you haven't been acting in alignment with yourself, the time to begin that journey back to clear and reestablish self-identity with solid personal integrity is now. It's time for a new you. The numerology of the 2023 Aries New Moon reveals the bigger, more collective picture of how this Aries energy is showing up in the world. This new moon's maximum phase is occurring on a 4 universal day in the Western and Middle Eastern nations, and on a 5 universal day in most Asian nations, the stands and everything to the east of them. This is quite a symbolic split of the energies, as 4 energy is very much about structure, stability, security, and safety, while 5 energy is about unexpected events, creativity, adaptability, adjustment, and change. While the Western nations are trying to maintain and strengthen the status quo, the Eastern nations are creating change and or adapting to it. Both share the 1 universal month energy of new beginnings and initiative actions, and the 7 universal year of reflection, analysis, reassessment, and rest. In some cases, this is the calm before the storm. Our highest ethical and spiritual ideals of oneness and interconnection may be profoundly challenged by trendy ideas and beliefs. Through these challenges, many of us may begin to recognize the contradictions of our beliefs and words, making more and more of us wonder if those words have any real meaning, or if our beliefs and the ideals that come from them are too unrealistic. Either way, our intellect and inner knowing are likely at odds in more ways than many of us care to admit, which is a big part of the problems we're facing now. Who's going to call out the hypocrisy is no longer enough. Under the Aries Sun and Aries New Moon, the question becomes, who's going to start taking actions to address the hypocrisies we're witnessing and or experiencing? One of the ways we answer that question is in recognizing that what we value in our personal relationships with each other reveals the power and strength of our societal institutions and structures. Our current societal and global conditions are demanding that we give more weight to the material and physical than how we communicate and collaborate with each other. Yet over the next 3 months, as Pluto dips its toes into Aquarius, from the 23rd of March through the 11th of June, we'll begin to recognize what some collectively aware people and institutions are already aware of, that the power of the future is found through the actions rooted in open-minded and evolutionary communications and collaborations. That is how and why our personal, social, and global relationships of all kinds are shifting, and why it's so important for the institutional status quo to undergo a near complete, if not full, transformation. The authoritarian, restrictive, controlling institutions and systems of the old world simply do not and cannot allow for collaboration nor evolution that are cornerstones of the emerging new world. It will become clear during this 2023 Aries New Moon and during the entire 2023 Aries Sun period that the old ways slow things down, producing frustration and angst, while the new ways facilitate faster and smoother ways of moving everyone involved forward and upward. Despite the efforts of some to maintain the status quo or possibly even regress us back to a more easily controlled way of operating, the transiting planets have other plans for humanity and for the way the world works. It's time for a new world. The energy of the 2023 Aries New Moon will be felt from the 17th of March through the 23rd of March, 2023. Throughout this week, set intentions, plant the seeds, and take the first steps to free yourself from a past that was not aligned with your inner truth in order to align yourself in the present with a journey toward the future and the life that you've always wanted to live. A life that is true to you. If ever a time to plant those seeds and take those steps, now is the time. Happy New Year, finally. Let's get started. New year, new you, new world.